Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Here I am in story mode, and behind me are all of the unreleased cars from the Bottom Dollar Bounties DLC. So we're just going to quickly go over them, show you guys what they look like and stuff like that. Now, unfortunately, I can't seem to get in them and customize them. There seems to be an issue in story mode when it comes to spawning these cars in and actually getting in them. So that's somewhat of an issue. But anyways, these are the cars that are available, and I'm going to be going over them in order of release with the drip feed. So whatever car is going to come out first is what we're going to go over, and then second, third, fourth, you know, and as it goes. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the brand new overflawed Pipistrello. This is the new supercar. GTA Plus, of course, already has this technically, but for everyone else, we don't have this car yet. So I figured I would give a quick overview of it. It's supposed to be based off of an Italian hypercar, I think it is, that's fully electric. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head right now, but it is marked as an overflawed in-game, which is kind of like that's supposed to be Koenigsegg. But I think they just kind of use it for any sort of European car brand that they can't really come up with another brand for. So it's, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, it's an overflawed, as you guys can see on the front right there. It looks pretty good, I have to say. I'm not a big fan of the wheels that are on it by default. However, I do think that it's a very cool looking car. The tail lights are super weird, like they stick out super far, and I don't think the back end is necessarily very great looking. And the spoiler thing, I mean, this is obviously stock, so I would assume you can change this. Of course, I don't know yet because I haven't actually been able to test it, but I would assume there's a lot that you can do to this car customization wise. So overall, it's a pretty cool looking car. It is fully electric. There are no exhausts on the vehicle, so that is a little bit disappointing. I kind of really don't love electric supercars that much, but it's okay. It is what it is. It's still going to be a pretty cool car, I think, and it goes for $2,950,000. So if you guys want it when it comes out, that's how much it is going to cost you for sure. So that's it for the overflawed Pipistrello. On to the next car. Now, this one, like, it's basically a Jeep Renegade, I think, is the thinking behind it. Now, we've been asking ROCKSTAR for ages to give us a Jeep Cherokee Trackhawk, and they've given us like a... It's not a Trackhawk, man. Like they could have so easily just upscaled this a little bit, made it a little bit bigger, slightly different bumper options and stuff like that, and made it into a Trackhawk. But instead, we got a Jeep Renegade, and it's like just this small little SUV. So I'm really disappointed by this. Now, I haven't customized this, obviously, so maybe there will be some options where we can kind of change things around and make it almost like a Trackhawk, sort of. But the problem is I think the scale is just too off. It's just too small to even sort of be considered a Trackhawk. I'm sure a lot of people are going to pretend that it is. I'm sure a lot of people are going to roleplay that this thing is a Trackhawk. But unfortunately, it just isn't really a Trackhawk. With that being said, though, I do think it is a pretty good looking vehicle. It definitely... like, I mean, it definitely screams Jeep Renegade at me for sure. I don't really know who wanted a Jeep Renegade, but we definitely wanted a Trackhawk. So anyways, thanks ROCKSTAR, I guess. But yeah, like, it's a pretty okay little SUV. It goes for $1,650,000, and it is called the Canis Castigator. For the record, I should just say that as well. Yeah, interesting, sort of, not really, but you know, it's definitely a vehicle for sure, and it is a Canis vehicle, and it is red, so you know, I am a bit of a fan of it, but I just wish it was a Trackhawk. I don't know why they couldn't have just given us a Trackhawk. It also seems really, really small too. Like, compared to Franklin, it seems like really tiny, which, yeah, that kind of frustrates me a little bit, but anyway, that's it for the Canis Castigator. Next up, we have something that a lot of people are going to be really excited about, and this is, of course, a Fox Body Mustang, and in-game it's called the Vapid Dominator FX, coming in at $1,550,000, and of course it is within the muscle car category. I would assume this thing is probably going to have a decent amount of customization. ROCKSTAR usually does pretty good when it comes to the Dominators in GTA Online, and I think this is actually going to be a pretty cool one to have. I'm really excited to try this thing out and, you know, see what it's all about. I don't think it's going to be the greatest performing muscle car of all time, but I do think it will be probably pretty good in a free mode scenario and things like that. I actually can't wait to use this in a manhunt. I think it's going to be a pretty cool vehicle to be able to use in manhunt, but I would assume the customization is going to be pretty awesome with this thing. I'm definitely looking forward to customizing it and seeing all of what we can do to it. I think it's going to be a pretty cool vehicle. It already is a cool vehicle just sitting here in front of me. I just wish that I could drive it. Anyway, that's it for the Vapid Dominator FX. On to the next vehicle, which is the Pizza Boy. Coming in at $195,000 within the motorcycles category. This is going to be part of a new pizza delivery sort of business, in air quotes, where we're going to be able to deliver pizza. I think it's going to operate very, very similar to taxi work. We don't really know much about it. We don't know much about the payouts, but if taxi work is any indication of how much we're going to get paid for this, yeah, probably don't want to buy it. But anyway, it is a pretty cool little moped thing, and the pizza this, you know, logo on there is pretty cool. Like it is cool. It is cool, but it's just not. Yeah, I would have rather had something else in the game, to be honest, but it is what it is. Now, the car I'm most excited for out of all of these is the AMG Hammer, or the Benefactor Vorschlagenhammer, coming in at $1,790,000, and it is within the sedans category. This thing is based off of the old Mercedes AMG Hammer, which super cool car. I'm really actually thrilled to have this in the game. I think this is going to be awesome, and the customization for this is also going to be pretty sweet. Now, as a bonus to also getting this car, it does actually have the drift modification tuning that can be applied to it when it comes out. So that is going to be really sweet too. So there will be a driftable variant of this vehicle as well, which I think is pretty sweet. Definitely looking forward to that. I think the customization for this thing is going to be like off the charts. I think it's going to be really, really good. It's such a good looking car already to me as well. So definitely looking forward to driving this one. Definitely going to use this in a few manhunts. I think it's going to be a pretty awesome car. I'm really excited for this one. I think it's going to be super sick. So that's it for the regular cars, and there they all are. Now, of course, we are going to have a drift variant of that car, and we are also getting drift modification tuning for the Karen Futo, the regular Karen Futo. So I didn't want to spawn a Karen Futo in because I think it just looked kind of out of place, but that will also be getting drift tuning as well. So that's pretty cool. I thought I would just mention that at this point in the video. Now, we also have to talk about the two police cars that are still yet to come out. And so this is the order of release: Pipistrello first, the Castigator, the FX, the Pizza Boy, the Hammer. Those are coming out in that order. And then we are getting the Vapid Dominator FX Interceptor. So this is another Interceptor. So we're getting a second Interceptor car. This is not a cruiser. So this thing is definitely going to be a lot faster than most of the other police cars, I would say. And it is going to come in at $4,950,000. And of course, it is within the emergency vehicles category, as is the Impaler LX Cruiser as well. Now, this thing, I'm assuming, is going to have some pretty good customization, probably some carryover from the regular FX, but then obviously all the police stuff as well, like the different lights and maybe a push bar and stuff like that. So that is going to be very interesting. I'm really excited to drive this car. It is going to be really overpriced, but you know, it is what it is. That is going to be the next vehicle that releases. Obviously, this is based off of the Declasse Impaler LX. I think this is going to be a really good vehicle for, you know, older sort of styled police chases and things like that. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this car. A lot of people really like the regular LX. I was personally not a fan at all, but I have to say I am more of a fan of the police variant because I just think it's going to be a little bit more usable and a little bit more viable to have in GTA Online. However, of course, this is going to come at a huge cost, $4,720,000. That's absolutely crazy. So yeah, it's a lot of money. As the last car that's going to release with the DLC, I mean, it's a little underwhelming, and if I'm being completely honest, I'm not like the biggest fan ever of it, but it's a cool car nonetheless, and it's, you know, one more car to have in GTA Online and one more police car at that, so I can't hate too much, but yeah, it's not necessarily my most preferred police vehicle that we could have gotten. I would have preferred an FIB Buffalo, or, you know, Los Santos Buffalo, or Los Santos Police Department Buffalo, I should say, but it is what it is, I guess. So anyway guys, there you have it. Those are all of the unreleased vehicles from the Bottom Dollar Bounties DLC in Grand Theft Auto Online. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you learned something, a like is of course appreciated, if not dislike. Subscribe to my channel if you guys are new. I'm trying to go for 300,000 subs this year. Let's see if we can make it happen. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.